Okay, so as I said just now, we still solving x, we have the same rules, meaning we simplify and then unknowns to the left, normal to the right, then coefficient, and lastly exponents if there are. Right? But now the difference here is we're going to have fractions with the exponent as with the unknown being the denominator. So the first example, for the x plus 6 over x is equal to 5. Okay, now remember we treat these the same as what we would have done with every other fraction. Okay, so when we have fractions, when are we allowed to add or subtract? When the denominators are the same. Okay, so look at my denominator here. Are they the same? They're both x. Now, even though we don't know what x is, you're right. Arms up. Oh, dis hier lekker gevoelie. Ja, maar daar is iets in haar keel in. Okay. Is jy alright? Verkeerde gat gewees. Is jy okay? Staan so 'n bietjie buite. Haal jou masker af en okay, right. So denominator is the same. They're both x. Okay, now when that happens, we can go and, in this case, add. What do we then add? We add the numerators. Yeah?
What is the name of
It's still algebraic equations. So it's still part of chapter 17. Okay. Okay, so we're going to add the numerators. So the 4 plus the 6 is going to give me 10. And the denominator, remember, it stays x. No. Okay, now, what we usually did is one of two things. We either make denominators the same on both sides, or in this case, what is this actually? This is 10 divided by x. So if I want to get rid of that, I can take it over and say times x. Do you guys understand? Okay, so then I'll have 10 is equal to 5 times x, meaning 5x. Oops. Any questions there? Okay, now, I just want to quickly say that when we work with fractions, I saw was it in this test or in my grade 10 test? I can't remember, but a lot of the times, the kids want to, because that's an unknown, they someone want to take the 10 over and say times 10. You can't, when you use a fraction, you can't take from the top first. I have to get the bottom part away, and only then can I work with the top part. Does that make sense? Okay, so please don't make that mistake. Okay, now once I get here, I already have unknowns on the one side, normal numbers on the other side. Then we would want to get rid of the coefficient. Now how do I get rid of that coefficient? I'm going to say divide by that coefficient. So then 10 divided by 5 is going to give me 2. And on this side, I'm just going to have x. Now, I can write 2 is equal to x, but I can't do it. I always want my unknowns on the left. So x is equal to 2. Okay. Any questions? Yeah. Make denominators. Oh, no. No, because there's no. What do you want to multiply with? X over 1. Yeah. Yeah, so you want to go from here. Yeah, but from here you want to do that. No. So what you want to do is multiply with x over 10. And then this side, x over 10. Let's test. Then over here you're going to have 1 is equal to... What? Did I not write x over 10? Oh, well, okay, wait. Let me go again. That was equal to 5. Okay, and then you want to multiply it with x over 10. And this side, x over 10. Oh, okay. Then it's 1 is equal to 5x over 10. Okay, and then 10 is equal to 5x. Yeah. 1 over 2. Yeah. Yeah. You could have done that too. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yes. This one. Okay, I have to get rid of that coefficient. So to get rid of the coefficient, if you want, rather see it like this. No, it would have been 2 is equal to x, but we don't usually write it like that. We have x is equal to something. Okay, so it won't be wrong if you said 2 is equal to x, maar ek kan nie, dis so klein bietjie OCD wat daar by my uitkom, ek kan nie. I wanted to have x is equal to something. Okay? Is julle reg? Yeah? To get the 5. How did I divide by 5? Okay, because of that exponent, coefficient, which is 5, right? That's actually 5 times x. So if I take this to the other side, it will become divided by 5. Yeah? Yeah. Are you fine? Is equal to x, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Let's do one that's a... Yeah? The x is on top and the x in the fourth is top. Are we still doing the same? Yeah, we use the same method. Yeah. Okay, can I skip? I want you guys to try one. Need to. Okay, try that one. Wat gaat nou aan? Try this one on your own, please.
So I'm not sure if I just kind of did it in the code to see, but because we want to get x on its own, so I said divide by 1 over 10, and then on that side divide by 1 over 10.
Not divide, times.
Times, yeah, sorry, times.
Yeah, but see, if you do that, it's going to be 1 over x.
Oh,
and not just x.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because I can't cancel out like this. When we cancel out, it's across or up and down. What you're doing is at the bottom side.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you guys done? Okay, so the left-hand side is actually 6 divided by x. So if I take that divided by x over, it will become times x, and then I will have 6 is equal to 18x. Okay, now you could leave it like that. I want 18x is equal to 6. No? Okay, and then I want to get rid of that coefficient. So this is 18 times x. So if I take it over, it's going to become divided by. Okay, so I'm going to have 6 divided by 18, but that I can also write as 6 over 18. Do you guys understand? Okay. Now, that means that x will be 1 over 3. Yeah. No. It's just your answer was a third is equal to x. Right? So if you read it from the right, x is equal to a third. So it's the same thing. It's not like I took it to the other side of the equal sign. Okay. It stays the same because I switched both. No. Okay. Right. Are you guys fine with this? Let's do a more difficult one. Huh? No. Okay, so hopefully last example. 1 over 5x minus 1 over 5 is equal to 2 over 3x minus 2 over 3. Okay, now think back to when we did those fractions. What's my first step? Lowest common denominator. So look at my denominators. 5x, 5, 3x, 3. What would I make it? 15x. No. Okay, so I want to make everything 15x. So I'm going to leave you there. You guys try and change. Sorry? Yeah? Equations, yes. Okay, so just to quickly explain, over here my denominator was 5x. I want it to be 15x. So what did I have to do? Times 3. And if I do it at the bottom, I also have to do it at the top. And that's how I get 3 over 15x. Now you guys go do the same with all the other terms. First have a look at what do I have to multiply the denominator with, and that same number I multiply with at the top. Because lowest common denominator. I have to have x because here I've got an x and there I've got an x. So I've got to have an x at my denominator. In everything, I'm making lowest common denominator. Okay, you guys done? Okay, so at the second term, I had 5 as my denominator. So what did I have to multiply with to make it 15x? 3x. So then at the top, I also have to multiply with 3x. So I will have 3x over 15. Oh, what's wrong? Have a look over here. I had 5. I want 15x. So 5 times 3 will give me the 15. But I also have to multiply with x because it was not just 15, it was 15x. You sure? And when I multiply with 3x at the bottom, I also have to multiply with 3x at the top. Jy gaan nie nou Afrikaans afskryf of wat is hy oranje? Want dan vat ek daai boek af en dan gee ek dit vir die onderwyser. Then you can go explain. Right? Third term. Or the next one. I had 3x. What do I have to multiply with to get 15x? I multiply with 5. So when I do it at the bottom, I also have to multiply at the top. I heard x now. Oh, yeah. Because there was an x already. I want to make my, did you understand the part where I said I want the denominator to be 15x? Did you get that part? Okay, so to get my denominator 15x over here, there was an x already, so I just had to multiply with 3. So that's why at the top I also just multiply with 3. Okay? But second term, the denominator only had a 5. So I had to multiply with 3x to get that 15. And when I multiply with 3x here, I also have to multiply with 3x at the top. And 1 times 3x will give me 3x. Yes? No? Yes? I want the denominator to be 15x every time. Yeah? Yeah? You have to multiply with whatever you need to so that the denominator would be that 15x. And the rule says what we multiply with at the bottom, I have to multiply with at the top. Okay. We'll do a second one of this as well. Okay, right. The next one. So we said times 5 times 5. So at the top, 2 times 5 gives me 10. No? You guys fine with that? Okay, then the last one. Denominator is 3. I want it to be 15x. So how much do I multiply with? 5x. So at the top also, times 5x. Okay. Now the top. 2 times 5x will give me 10x. At the bottom, 3 times 5x gave me that 15x. Okay, so now I have it that all of them has got a common denominator. No. So when this happens, we can basically forget about what's written at the bottom. Do you remember when we did fractions? Now, because everything is the same, I can only look at the top. So 3 minus 3x is equal to 10 minus 10x. Can you see I only wrote down what was at the top? And now it looks like a normal equation. So we use our steps. Unknowns to the left. Okay, so this one was on the left. This minus 10x moves over, so it becomes plus 10x. We want normal numbers on the right. The 10 was on the right. The 3 has got to move over, so it becomes minus 3. Okay, so let's go and simplify. So minus 3x plus 10x will give me 7x. And 10 minus 3, 7. Next step is get rid of the coefficients. So I want to get rid of that 7. Okay? So this is 7 times x. So if I take it over, it becomes divided by 7. So x will then be 1. You guys good? Yeah. Yeah. This one over here. From there to here. Okay. So that is actually 10 divided by... Kom skryf en praat ek verkeerde goed. 10 divided by x is equal to 5. No? So what I want you to do is get rid of this divided by x. So I take it over. So it becomes 10 is equal to 5 times x. But that is actually 5x. Make sense? Okay. Anyone else? I'm assuming some of you... Is jy nog daar besig om te skryf? Okay. Some of you are still writing over here? Okay. Do we need to do another example like that? Huh? Okay, kom ons doen maar gou nog enetjie. But I think I'm going to write it down and then you guys try and then we mark, no? Okay, so example 4. Okay, there we go. What can we do? Hmm? Yeah?
Wondering whether for example, these that we did now, why isn't it? Because mom wants everything on the. I'm not sure if. Well, I did the example here, but mom wants everything the same
Okay.
on both sides.
So, let's say we use that same method.
Why don't we use it with this?
We could. Okay, so then, if I wanted this over x,
Yeah.
then it would be 5x over x.
Oh yes, because we
No?
do times.
And then
It'll
we
work out
can
the same.
we can ignore the bottom. So 4 plus 6 will give me 10.
Oh, then
is
you're
equal
almost
to
like
5x.
skipping a step.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering that because
No, so you could have used the same thing. Same thing. Okay. It's just that one was shorter and less complicated, so we could go that route. Okay, right. People, I'm hearing talking. So I'm assuming I can go on. So what I did is I made my common denominator 6x. If you maybe used 12x, it's not wrong. Is there anyone that did that? Okay, yours will then just be double what we have every time. Okay, but your final answer will be the same. Right, so at the first term, what did I have to multiply here at the bottom? Times 6. So I do it at the top as well, and that means that I will have 6 over 6x. Okay, over here I had to multiply with 2x. So do the same at the top, which means it's going to give me 8x. Over here I had to multiply with 3. So do the same at the top. So you will have 3 over 6x. And over there, times 3x. So at the top also times 3x, which means that will give me 9x. Okay, let me hear. Any questions up until there? Now that I have my denominator the same for all of them, I can basically scratch that and only look at what's written at the top. So I will have 6 plus 8x is equal to 3 plus 9x. No, okay, now we take unknowns to the left. So that plus 9 moves over and becomes minus 9x. The 6 also has to move over, so it becomes minus 6. So I'm going to have minus 1x is equal to minus 3, which means that positive x is equal to positive 3. Who got that? Good. Okay. Right. Now, in the homework, people, I want to quickly say something. If at the top, let's say over here, I had more than one thing. Let's say that was 8x minus 2. I'm just using an example. When I skip from this step to that one, what do we have to do with that? We have to put it in brackets. Do you remember that? No? It's just that when we have more than one term at the top, to make sure that we keep it as 1 to see whether, okay, in this case it was a plus in front of it, so it didn't make any difference. But if there was a minus, that minus still had to be multiplied in, and that's why we keep the 2 terms in one bracket. Do you remember that? We did do it at a previous exercise, but I'm just reminding you guys, because you are going to have that at 2C, so just watch out for that. I'll make it. Let me just make a note here. Yes. Ja, julle kan nou kry. Okay. Gegaan. Is there any questions on the example 4? Any questions there? Okay, right. And then here's your homework, people. At 1, you only do B up until F, and at 2, B, C, D. Now just remember your brackets at 2C, no? For that one at the top that's got 2 terms. Okay, that is it. You guys can